Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're doing something really interesting. We're doing what you need to know about yourself. And to do this reading, we are going to be picking 3 piles together. I already see one popping out. I see the second one, and I kind of feel this one to be the third one. So let's see what we have for this reading. For pile number 1, we have Raccoon. For pile number 2, we have Crow. And for pile number 3, we have Zebra. So take a look at which one of these piles you're the most drawn to, and that's probably the pile for you here today. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, or if you feel drawn to all the piles, trust your intuition. It will always guide you to the right readings. As usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hi, pile number 1. So you've chosen the raccoon, and it's such an interesting animal to pop up in this reading, since we're talking about what you need to know about yourself. So the raccoon energy is an earth energy, and it talks about being talented, but in hiding, sometimes questioning yourself, even though you're very skilled. And of course, this card indicates a lot of talent. Sometimes you think, do the people around me truly thinks that I am who I am, as talented as they think I am? Am I who these people think that I am? And you'll have this raccoon energy, pile number 1, always around you, won't let you off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. There is some imposter syndrome somewhere that you're not noticing, pile number 1. Maybe it has to do with your work or socially, or there is some area that you're really not giving yourself enough credit for, where you question yourself. And I really feel that your spirit guides want to tell you in this reading that it's time for you to let this creativity or this talent out, pile number 2, to experience who you are, because it's really unfair to yourself and to your life to keep this creative energy to you, to keep yourself masked or in hiding in some way, because it will create an imbalance in your energy, especially that you seem to be an exceptional, perhaps artist, or exceptional skilled person at something, or maybe many things, pile number 1. I think it's really time for us to take a look at your tarot cards and find out more information about what you're hiding, or you need to bring something into balance to do new work here. So let's find out more information, my dear number 1s, what you're hiding, what your talents are, and what your spirit guides are saying about this, and what you need to know, pile number 1. I am hearing already, before we even take a look at the cards, that if you don't start something, or if you don't tackle something or get into something, you feel that maybe it's too big for you, pile number 1. It's only when you tap into the energy and start producing something and start seeing your effect with the people around you and the people who need this talent of yours, that you truly know and understand just how much you can provide, that you're holding off, pile number 1. Wow, you have the Knight of Cups here. It seems that you really will be loved for what you will be providing. And you see the raccoon here is in gray and white colors, and then you have a pop of color suddenly in our reading, where you'll discover so much hidden in you that needs to come out into the world. People need to see so much of you. Even you, pile number one, you will start loving what you do, and it will surprise you as well. So you also have, wow, King of Wands, all the passionate, loving energy popping in your reading, showing that there is more to you than you think you have. And it's only about tapping into this creative self. You know, this reminds me of one of my very dear friends. She always wanted to start an Instagram page. She was so talented, such a creative, talented girl. And she felt like she wasn't going to have a lot of subscribers. She really doubted herself when you can clearly see the amount of skills that she has. And this is a really interesting story, pile number one. She did a lot of interesting skits, and she was more focused on doing funny skits but having a message at the same time. And you won't believe it, she always spoke about this imposter syndrome, and that people were going to find out that she wasn't talented and that she must be fooling herself. But she just did it because her husband was really pushing her. He can really see the talent that she has. All of us really can see it. And you won't believe it, in a matter of 3 months, I kid you not, she went from a couple of subscribers, which was initially us, her friends, to hitting it off into hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I remember that day she did this really interesting song, I remember. And she wasn't on Facebook, and I really loved the song. I felt it was brilliant. So I said, hey Emma, can you please share it on Facebook, because I think everyone needs to hear this. She puts it on Facebook, initially for me to share it, but she by simply putting it on Facebook, she wasn't on Instagram, it went viral. All her other friends started sharing it. Everyone loved it, and I kid you not, pile number one, I saw it with my own eyes. In a matter of a few hours, she went from the Emma that we all know, our dear, wonderful friend, to someone who people around the world were talking about. And I was like, wow, if she just knew how talented she was. It was really amazing to watch. Pile number one. And I really feel that type of energy here for you. The story suddenly hit me when I saw the Raccoon, the King of Wands, the Knight of Cups. Definitely reminded me of this story. And I feel that this is your energy that you need to tap into. This doubt that you sometimes have. Will the people around me think of me in a different way than what I truly am? And the truth is, they're thinking of you the right way more likely than you are thinking of yourself the right way. Pile number one. And it's really funny how I left these unveiled here, and it looks like there's so much for you to discover about yourself. See, you have death and rebirth. Once you come out of this hiding, pile number one, you will create a whole new beginning for yourself. You will see this talent for yourself. But I want to tell you something, pile number one. Don't wait for the world to prove your talent to you, and cut this distance for yourself and start seeing it for yourself. Start testing the water. Start creating things. And by creating things is the only way that you can see just how talented and skilled you are. Pile number one. You have, wow, the Three of Cups here talks about people loving what you're creating. Perhaps you'll have a following, or perhaps you'll have certain businesses that believe in the service you're providing and will be hardcore clients of yours, pile number one. Or that you'll get great recognition. Your cards are very powerful, pile number one. Like I was saying, it seems like you are going to get great recognition. In fact, with the Knight of Cups in this deck specifically, I'm kind of envisioning, you know how when someone does a great performance and the audience just loves them so much that they throw flowers at them. This is really what I'm envisioning for you. And it's no time, pile number one, to be doubting yourself or doubting your amazing, exceptional talent. And that now it's time that you come out of the shadows, this shadow side, this doubt. It's time for you to heal it. And the only healing you can do is by letting it out. Don't starve your art or your skills. Don't starve it. Nurture it and let it out, and you will be surprised by who you are. Pile number one. This is one of the strongest messages here from your spirit guides. It seems like you, with the earth element here, you need to earth these ideas. You need to earth your dreams, and you need to earth your skills. Put it to practice. Because what is a great knitter if the knitter is not knitting, or at least teaching others to knit? What is a great marketeer who can bring great results if this marketeer is not putting their skills out there? What is it? What is a skill in hiding? It's nothing until it's plugged in. And this is what your spirit guides are trying to tell you, and what you need to do. You need to tap into this and resolve it once and for all. With the death card appearing in your reading, pile number one, I see a surprise happening for you, as we saw from the very beginning. Do you see a wish coming true right in front of your eyes, surprising you right in front of your eyes? And that has to be done when you start, and that will be done when you start. Pile number one. Okay, so let's now get more information about what more do you need to know about yourself, what your spirit guides here are trying to tell you. I'm hearing start new work. Start something. Wow, the Queen of Wands appearing here in your reading. It's like that's what I envisioned, by the way, before the Queen of Wands came out. I didn't say it, but I envisioned a certain splash of rainbow colors. And it's like we go from black and white to a boom of colors coming out. Just like that. You surprising others and yourself along the way. Creating something that will have a reaction of amazement and love. People will admire what you have. And pile number one. I mean, it's like, it shows here, it's like you kind of know that you have the skill, but the problem is that you question it, and that's the problem. I see here you've already gotten good reactions from perhaps the people around you or your friends, but you keep not believing it. You might think that they are complimenting you, when this is not the truth at all, pile number one. You really are talented, and you're misjudging yourself. Perhaps you have voices, old voices of maybe parents in the past, teachers, toxic people around you, toxic friends who put you down out of jealousy or out of immaturity or out of any sort of emotional imbalance. And you are making yourself pay for it now, even though it's not your mistake at all. And this is why we saw shadow in your reading. You need to start healing and resolving this issue by bringing it out of your shadow and into your light. Pile number one. You have the Chariot here, suggesting movement, strong movement. You have the Moon, taking things out of the shadow. Unbelievable. The Moon card is also talks about our shadows, what's inside us that we're not aware of, perhaps sometimes our own deceptions. Pile number one. You have the Two of Cups here under your death and rebirth, and that here under death and rebirth talks about making peace with your shadow, taking the power from your shadow and bringing it out into the light. And last but not least, you have the Eight of Pentacles showing up in your reading. And this here suggests by your spirit guides to start creating, co-creating, start building and using your skills to do something that the world will appreciate you for and love. The world or the community or the people who would love your service or your skills. Pile number 1. I think we need to move your cards a little bit up here. So what am I seeing clearly here for you? You need to end the phase of your life, heal your shadow by simply taking a leap of faith in yourself, coming out of the shadow, bringing your art, your skills, your passions out into the world. And this is how you befriend your shadow, because when you build new habits of go confronting your fears, confronting these voices, bringing it out anyways, these voices start to fade away, and new pathways in your brain are created, where you start muting these voices and believing more in yourself and seeing yourself for who you truly are. And that's done by starting to move forward with your passion and working on whatever it is that you need to work on and bringing it out into the world. And that's really what I see here for you. That's what you need to know about yourself, my dear number 1, is that you have so much more to you than you give credit for. So pile number 1, that was your reading. I wish you all the best of luck. May you flourish and bring amazing colors into the world, surprising yourself and everyone else. And if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number 2, and boy, do I have a surprise for you. So you've chosen the crow. And as you may know, the crow has long been a symbol of magic. So it seems like you are drawn to the supernatural, pile number 2. This shows me that what you need to know about yourself is that you have spiritually strong skills about you that perhaps you may not have tapped into yet. But crow energy is pretty potent, a strong psychic, pile number 2. They have a gift for seeing the unseen and knowing the unknown. In fact, the crows, they hold within them, I think they call it the mind's eye, and they see past, present, and future. So you'll find yourself, pile number 2, to be generally a wise person. And yes, of course you are smart, but do not miss out the fact that being smart is a power of the mind, and as well a power of our activated crown chakra, our activated third eye chakra. We're both energetic beings and physical beings, and you'll find that your intuition helps you and assists you a lot in being able to discern things well, to have this strong intuition about what you're not seeing and putting your picture together. So one thing I want to tell you here, since you have the crow, pile number 2, since you need to know more about yourself, like we said, you're a strong psychic being, and in order to clear your vision, your psychic visions better, and to draw out your creativity, you need to have balanced energy, and that is done through a healthy diet. It really has an effect. Being surrounded by joyful friends and constantly self-study. These challenges that you go through, they help you understand more about yourself, and that's why self-study is important. They help you learn important lessons, and they help you heighten your spirituality and your spiritual gifts. For you specifically, pile number 2, daily meditation is important because it's going to bring you to balance. You're a strong light being, and you will notice that you unfortunately perhaps draw a lot of dark energies around you sometimes. And really, it's to help you balance yourself out and reach the best version of yourself, and to find out more about your spiritual creative powers. Pile number 3. You're a very observant, watchful person for sure. And that is because you have a strong psychic clear vision that helps you see beyond what you see. And that's why you were always tapping into this watchful energy of yours. You're watchful of your surrounding, you're watchful of the people around you, and that's one of your psychic ways to collect information. Pile number 1. So one thing you need to know about yourself very well is that you're a very strong, spiritually gifted psychic person. Pile number 1, 2, and you need to see how you're going to use these skills for yourself and for others. Yeah, 8 of Swords. You have, ooh, again, the Knight of Cups. You have the Queen of Pentacles. Let's bring it out here a little bit so we have more space. You have, wow, the Magician. I mean, right next to the Crow. Boy, pile number 2, I told you you'd be surprised. Your reading is all about having magical psychic powers. At the moment, you're not seeing it, pile number 2. And one way to tap into this energy is to meditate every day, pile number 2. First of all, to vibrate high as much as you can. Push out any negative thoughts that you have. And I'm not making this up. I'm not giving psychological advice. I'm only quoting from Dr. Caroline Leaf. I'll leave her book down in the description. I believe in that book very much. She's a neuroscientist. And in summary, you can read her book. But she talks about being fully capable of having control over your mind and pushing negative thoughts away. This way you balance and ground yourself. Pile number 2. So like we said, meditate every day. Vibrate high, and work on your life mission. Pile number 3. These are things that are very important for you to do in order to heighten this magic that you have within you. Pile number 2. Okay. Wow, the Wheel of Fortune, unbelievable. This is my favorite card, by the way, gotta tell you. And you have the Hanged Man. So pile number 2. Once you tap into this psychic energy of yours and start using it for your life mission and to heal yourself, you will notice that life will shift for you completely. It's like it's going to go the other way around. And that's what the Hanged Man is all about. It's about taking things into another perspective, things changing abruptly for you. Pile number 2. And so the more you align with yourself, the more you align with your psychic powers, the more you align with healing, vibrating high, and your spiritual powers, you will see, pile number 2, things will completely change for you. There will be more fortune on your side. Your whole life will change upside down to something much, much more amazing, because that's the sort of energy that you're supposed to tap into. Pile number 2. Also, the Hanged Man talks about sacrifice, and sacrifice here, you need to sacrifice some of your time, some of your instant gratification for long-term gratification. So instead of doing things that could harm you, like perhaps having a break, having long breaks, eating what you like, not going out to find your community and sticking around toxic people, or perhaps not figuring out the problems in your life and start to work little by little towards fixing it. That kind of thing, especially the 3 areas that we talked about. If you don't sacrifice and start working on it, you won't reach your full potential. Your full potential is stronger than anyone, really. You will be surprised by how much magical powers you have within you. And there's something really weird here, pile number 2. Suddenly on my channel, for 2 weeks now or 3 weeks, I'm getting so many readings about heightened psychic powers. It seems like some of you have very, very strong psychic powers and suddenly tuned into the channel. Or perhaps a lot of you, if not all of you who are tuning in these days, are ready to come out with your powers. It's like perhaps this era of magicians, witches, and people with spiritual gifts coming out full throttle with their power, being in tune. Perhaps there's something astrologically going on. I need to read more about this. Now I'm really intrigued. And if you know something, please let us all know down in the comment section. I will definitely be reading about this because now I'm intrigued and letting you know next week. All right, so yes, pile number 2, you're super spiritually gifted, as you can see. There's no question about it. And once you tune into this power, you unstuck your life little by little. You live your true authentic self, and I promise you fate will change completely for you, where you start seeing so many things with these magical powers. Attracting the right life towards you, attracting the right people towards you, being in your best physical and mental and psychological state. Pile number 2. Okay, pile number 2. Let's get more information on what you need to know about yourself. Isn't this really interesting? You're reading pile number 2. I am so much enjoying it. It's unbelievable. I love when magic and psychic powers come to life. The world just feels so much more beautiful and magical. So pile number 2, you have 8 of Cups under the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, let's move these up a little bit. Great. You have the King of Swords, the 4 of Cups, you have the King of Wands, the 3 of Swords right under the Magician, the 4 of Wands under the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. What a combination. And last but not least, you have the Page of Pentacles. Getting into a new journey. Pile number 2. And it seems like you need to earth these magical powers that you have. You need to use them here in the 3D. You need to discover more about yourself so that you're able to help others, yourself and others. Pile number 2. So cool. So with the Crow in conjunction with the King of Wands, I really see your spirit guides backing you and saying you need to start tapping into your powers. Pile number 2, I hear it's time. So you have very strong spirit guides backing you up, and it's time for you to rise your magic. Pile number 2. And this starts by healing yourself. Like I said, healing has to do with so many factors, and that's all about taking everything toxic out of your life. Little by little, nothing too quickly, but by just beginning a plan and start working on it. This is really enough to start clearing energy around you and start putting you into the King of Wands energy. Heal by meditating, by vibrating high, pushing away thoughts that don't serve you anymore and only accepting thoughts that empower you. And little by little as well, tapping into your mission. You have it in conjunction here with the 8 of Cups. And this really shows me that you need to start moving towards it little by little, leaving behind what's not serving you. Is this maybe a job that you don't like? Of course, nothing is done abruptly, but everything is done by planning. So plan for it little by little. Or are you not working, and you can be working towards more into your life mission and you're not? The King of Swords here, in conjunction to the Knight of Cups, suggests that you're fully capable of being in command of your thoughts and being mentally strong by choosing your thoughts and cutting off the thoughts that are not serving you, as we've discussed. Pile number 2. Again, this is really all clarification to what your spirit guides are really trying to make you see. You need to be around more joyful friends and cut yourself off of dark energies that feed off of your beautiful energy. Pile number 2. Once you start planning, that's the strongest message here. Once you start planning and taking yourself out of some type of victim mentality of excuses perhaps, and start moving towards the how can I take myself out of it, how can I fix it little by little, that's when you start tapping in more into your psychic powers, your real self. Pile number 2. You will start feeling much better. You start healing. Energy will clear out and change around you, and you will start to feel empowered. Pile number 2, and that's really what I can see here in your reading. Start tapping into your powers. You already have it. No one can give it to you or take it away from you, even when you haven't picked up your game yet and what you need to change. It's yours. It's in your hands. Pile number 2. But if you want to heighten it and live your true authentic self and start experiencing some magic in your life, some real magic in your life, you need to start clearing out this energy around you that we discussed. Pile number 2. So pile number 2, I'm so excited for you. I love your gift for you. I love that you're able to see the unseen and know the unknown. Soon, pile number 2, even more. And pile number 2, if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. So you've chosen the zebra, and you can see their third eye here being colored in so many rainbow color, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. But the zebra energy in general are people who are young at heart, people who are well cultured and have an undying curiosity about life. So the people talking to you, the people who are in your company, feel like their minds are being open. Pile number 3. Your mental potent magic is really contagious, and people who talk to you soon find themselves in faraway land and finding more about your vision. So pile number 3, you are a visionary. You're the sort of person who would think, wouldn't it be great if this and this and this happened, or if we can do that? The future generally fascinates you. Pile number 3. You're the kind of person who loves to peer over the horizon. It's as if it was projected on the wall. You can clearly see it. Pile number 3. You can see in detail what the future might hold, and this detailed picture keeps pulling you more in and pushing you forward. Pile number 3. Towards tomorrow, a better tomorrow, of course. And this is why you're a visionary. You're a dreamer. You see visions of what could be, and you really cherish those visions, even if people don't believe you straight away. Pile number 3. You really hold on and believe into your futuristic visions. And sometimes when you feel like And this is where you're different from other people. When the present proves to be too frustrating and the people around you too pragmatic, you start envisioning the future, and that really energizes you. But here's the thing, pile number 3, and perhaps this is why you needed to know more about this, about yourself, this specific skill here, because this can energize other people too. And in fact, very often when you look out into the abyss and you describe your visions of the future, and help other people with these visions and what they can do, you really help raise their insight and their hope towards a better tomorrow, and you raise their spirit, pile number 3, because you can clearly paint it for them. And people really want to latch onto the hope you bring, pile number 3. So let's see why your spirit guides are speaking about your strong visionary skills. Perhaps you used it but didn't really put your finger on it and know, wow, yes, I'm a visionary, I'm futuristic. And by knowing more about yourself in this reading, you start with the fire here, starting perhaps a new passion, or start trusting in these visions and doing something great in your work that you already have, or by maybe starting something new, or starting a coaching service, a marketing service, where you bring out these visions, or whatever it is in your field. Maybe you'll start tapping more into this strong skill that you have and bringing out an amazing future to whatever you're doing, pile number 3. I'm very curious about what this is all about. I love your futuristic vision, how you're a visionary, and I want to find out more information about this for you, pile number 3. So interesting. So what does pile number 3 need to know about themselves, please? Why do they need to know about this? Are they going to use it for something? Let's see. Pile number 3. You could think, I wonder if we could do this, this, and that. I don't believe it can't be done, and that's your power, pile number 3. You have the 6 of Swords. You have the King of Pentacles. So it looks like, pile number 3, if you start walking slowly towards this skill that you have, using it to help others, it seems like you'll be able to make a fortune out of it. Do you need to start your own marketing consultancy company, or ideation service? I don't know. Page of Cups. Wow. Starting a new beginning that you love. Or maybe your spirit guides are now bringing this into light because it's time for you to use the strong visionary skill to create a dream for yourself that will bring you a lot of fortune. Pile number 3. So it doesn't have to be consultancy for other people. It's just that it's time for you to envision a bigger future and tapping into it. Wow, you have the Ace of Swords, and we're talking about being futuristic and having strong visions. You have, wow, Queen of Wands. It's I think now it's clear, pile number 3. Your spirit guides are bringing this into light because it's now time for you to create something for yourself, to use that beautiful vision of yours. It's almost piercing. I feel like it's piercing into me. It's so strong, pile number 3, that you can sometimes see the future so vividly and so clearly that you can create something amazing in the real world. And this also talks about the exercise of envisioning things. What was the scientist called who did this research? You know, having the power of visions, 3 of Pentacles, it's about work. Having the power of vision is so strong, pile number 3. I think if you Google this, you'll find a study being made. It was even published in the Okay, I don't remember exactly the details, but if you Google it, you'll find everything I'm telling you about. It's a real study, it's not some science gimmick. They've watched the effect of envisioning things in your head strongly over and over, and they found that it brings great results. They've even done real life studies where they brought in people to implement this vision, this practice of envisioning things, and they've trained a whole basketball team by letting them envision the techniques in their heads over and over for 20 minutes, I think, every day, every single day. And they found out that by envisioning these techniques every day, they were capable of being as close as to the other team that actually practiced these techniques every day. So being able to envision things is a very strong skill, and not everyone has it, especially with all these colorful details that you're able to bring into your picture. And this really helps you in manifesting and attracting things towards you. Pile number 3, obviously. Some people, they need to work very hard to be able to envision things so that they attract it towards them. But for you, pile number 3, it seems to come off very easily. You're able to envision things with details, and this is going to help you out in the future by creating very creative products or services that you can offer to people, and by creating creative things in your life, creative solutions. So eventually, pile number 3, for you, this is going to lead to a lot of fortune for yourself, a fantastic, fun life that you need to start tuning into and start working towards. Pile number 3. So with the Ace of Swords coming in your reading, I see that it's time for you to start focusing on your future. Pile number 3. Start envisioning with this clear way that you envision things in your head. Start building a clear, remember when we talked about the projection on the wall? So start creating this image in vivid detail of how you want your future to be like. That's what I see your spirit guides clearly saying to you. And as you create this vision, start implementing it little by little and moving slowly towards these calmer waters of moving towards your dreams, is what I'm trying to say. Moving calmly towards these dreams, little by little, moving out of chaos. So have it at the back of your head, pile number 3, but you do have the fire element here, suggesting that it's time for you to start it whenever possible. Pile number 3. Just keep it at the back of your mind. Don't let go of this vision that you're supposed to have your own creative future. Pile number 3. Gosh, I love your pile. Okay, so let's get more information about what you need to know about yourself and maybe why. I'm seeing a reason for this. Pile number 3. So let's see what you have here. You have the 3 of Swords under the Page of Cups. You have the Fool, starting a new beginning that's going to make you very abundant. Yeah. You have the Queen of Cups under the 6 of Swords. You have the King of Cups. You're gonna love this, pile number 3. You're really going to love this new beginning, and it seems to me here that you're not quite happy where you are. Maybe at work, or maybe with what you're doing. You may be successful, but it's not it for you, pile number 3. And you're being invited to slowly move into a new beginning that you will absolutely love. I cannot even begin to tell you how much you're going to enjoy this, how much you're going to find yourself, how much you're going to bring out what you have inside out into the world, and how people will love your visions, like we discussed from the very beginning. You have the 9 of Wands, and this speaks about being courageous, of having the audacity to actually think about this. Maybe you need to save up, or maybe you need to start thinking slowly. This is why you have the Six of Swords, to slowly get into it. Have the courage, pile number 3, to do something on your own. You have the Hermit here, suggesting again the idea of doing something on your own, going solo and being very successful at it. And you have the High Priestess. So pile number 3, I mean the High Priestess showing up at the end of your reading. It really shows that you have a lot of knowing inside you. This is why we were talking about this experiment of going deep within yourself and extracting the truth and visions. Pile number 3, I'm telling you, you're going to find surprises. I just saw a vision right now, and I'm going to leave it as a surprise for you. I promise you, by tapping into your visions, you will bring out extreme surprises into the world. And that will happen when you start envisioning it in your head first. So you don't need to like leave your work or leave whatever you're doing or just start something right away. I see it as a slow moving energy here, where you little by little envision your future and start little by little moving and working towards it, and moving towards working on your own and doing something great that you will absolutely love. I see a strong message of summoning up your courage, taking a grip on this skill that you have and using it for your own benefit. Pile number 3. And remember when I told you I saw a surprise as we were talking about you having a great career and doing your own thing and it's going to be great? The reason I was shocked is because as I looked into the zebra, I looked across the room and I found my cup had a zebra on it, and it really shocked me. And it really shows that this is a confirmation to what we're saying. I had to share it with you. I can't just keep something like that to myself. But the spiritual world is just amazing, and it seems, pile number 3, you are going to make it big. Just tap into this visionary skill that you have and start using it. And the Fool appearing in your card says to just start this journey. Yes, plan it little by little, but don't be overly concerned if you're going to succeed or not. How would you know unless you start? So yes, plan it well, but start eventually. Start, have fun. You don't know if it's going to work or not. This will only be discovered by just beginning and seeing what happens, right? What I see as energies in your cards that is going to be super successful for you. It's going to prove to be something that you have a lot of passion for, something that you absolutely love. You love working, you love your life every day. And it seems like it's moving away from energy that you're not really enjoying. Pile number 3. So pile number 3, that was your reading. All the best of luck with that. I love your skill, your visionary skill, pile number 3. May you have the best success in the world with it. And if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye.